Listen up. You right there, bro. And the truth about this life that we live in is the faster you can realize that is the faster that God can allow you to truly be who you need to be, right? A lot of times we have our shackles, right, on our mind, on our spirit, on our identity, and it's keeping us from really being who we authentically know that we are. You know that you probably one of the most inspirational, spiritually aligned, healthy, just peaceful individuals of all time, right? That doesn't mean that, balance is everything and what goes up must come down. But having the mind frame of the balance and the equilibrium allows you to know that the more that you continue to pour into you, be yourself, love being yourself, not people please, not conform, what starts to happen is that authenticity pours into life. So every day that you wake up and live and go speak to the girl that you want to speak to, right? Whether if she rejects you, right? Whether if doesn't go the way you perceive it to go, which ultimately it'll always go how it's supposed to, right? If the business opportunity falls short, but miraculously on the back end, you end up doing something that made you more money, right? Ironically, right? When you were doing something for solely the profit or for solely the dividend of, not only just monetarily speaking, but just when it comes to relationships, when it comes to an environment, or when it comes to your energy, like when you can look yourself in the mirror every day, right? And this is where most people go wrong at. It's this very simple thing. And you can confirm who you are every single day to yourself, right? Without looking this way, without feeling away, without having this, internal dialogue, which is, basically saying that you have imposter syndrome. And look around you. How could you be a millionaire? How could you be successful, right? How could you be spiritually aligned? How could you possibly have a great relationship with God, right? How could you possibly know God? How could you possibly know that you live in an image and likeness? How could you possibly have, right? And it's ironic, it's a Kanye West song. How can one man have all that power, right? And this is why I tell people most of the time, right? Life is mirroring you because you have yet to confirm who you truly are. So when people get into relationships with individuals that end up being demons and energy vampires and just fucked up people, your discernment, your intuition, your intuitiveness as a human being would have let you know that this ain't the road to go down, right? Your open mindedness would have let you know that this ain't an alignment for me right now, right? Whether if it's the business opportunity, whether if it's the sit down, right, conversation, whether if it's the trip, whether if it's anything that you feel that you need, but God is confirming and telling you that that's not for you, right? One thing that I've learned is that the more deeper you can go in your inner dialogue, in your internal state, in your moral compass, and you can stay firm on that and you can stay 10 toes on that, right? I don't really give a fuck about who's telling you you can't be who you say you can be. I don't really give a fuck about your friends and what they're saying about the things that you may say or you may bring up or etc., right? You know what I'm saying? Like your thoughts birth worlds, your thoughts birth universes. So if that's actually true and you believe that shit, what can't you not do, right? We're all indoctrinated to believe that what's the worst that can happen, nigga? What's the best that can happen? Like you talking to your homie like twin, what's the best that can happen, bro? We fuck around and get rich. We fuck around and do something inspirational that could change the world, right? We impact the generation. We change the mind frame and way of thinking, right, of an individual, even if it's only one person. You deal what I'm saying? Like, fuck thinking about the outcome of the situation. When you experiencing the journey, it's like, bro, just take the steps that are required, right? Stop worrying about getting there and just get in the car and drive. Stop worrying about having it and worry about being it, right? Stop worrying about needing it and just genuinely feel the energy and the vibration of what that thing truly is, right? A lot of you guys don't have money problems because you just genuinely are bad at, money management, and you're unfinancially literate and all of these things. You just genuinely believe you're a broke motherfucker. So you just can't attract opportunities. You believe you're not infinite. So the ideas that you have, you don't believe those things are intellectual property. You never wake up and just say, what can I do with this idea? What's my next thought gonna be? Okay, what are the things that I'm great at? How can I monetize those things? Okay, what can I do that I already love to do to help someone else, right? To solve a problem, to create a funnel of not only something that can help a community of people, but something that could be leveraged in a manner to where everybody that interacts with me and just genuinely taps in with me and just more or less is involved with what I do, not only are they getting value, not only are they getting feedback, not only are I'm building a community, which is like a family, I'm allowing myself to consistently grow and build something that I already love to do and I already am. I already am a genius, right? I already am a creative. I already am spiritually in tune. So my opportunities are limitless. And if you don't feel like that about yourself, I don't truly believe that you can break out of the matrix. If you don't truly feel like everything that you are, right? No matter what someone is saying, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what you're even being depicted. Like, you know how like they say, like, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see? That's kind of like how delusional you got to be to get where you're trying to go, bro. Because your timeline, once again, can only align with what you believe is true. So if you waking up every day believing that you're the greatest rapper, you're the greatest rapper, bro. The world just has to catch up to you, right? So when that song catches flame, right? When that video catches traction, right? When that business starts going crazy, when you finally find that marketing tool that builds the funnel for your business, right? And you keep regurgitating that over and over and over and over again, you finally ask your question of like, oh shit. If I would have gave up, none of this shit would have happened. If I would have stopped believing in myself, none of this shit would have happened. All of them rainy days, all of them motherfucking lonely nights, all of that adversity, nigga, all of that uncertainty. If I would have just stopped in the middle of the road and just crashed the fuck out, I would have never made it to my destination. And that's literally the basis of life, bro. I keep trying to tell people, and I hope this is the message that's like, you know what I'm saying, being very like, emphasized in my videos. Is like, bro, life is simple when you make it simple. Life is very direct. It's very much a very enlightening, beautiful, painful, loving, endearing experience, right? When you can genuinely learn to just remember who the fuck you came here to be, bro. That's it, right? You don't gotta go outside of yourself to find this. You don't need to go talk to 1,000 people to realize this. I guarantee you, if you wake up every day and live like you are your highest version of yourself every single fucking day. I don't give a fuck what your bank account look like. I don't give a fuck about what your reality is telling you that you need to be, what your parents are telling you to be, your friends, your job, your whatever the fuck, bro. Do not let anything external allow you to drift. Do not let anything external outside of yourself allow you to dictate who you are. Only you know who you are. Your friends don't genuinely know who you are. They don't eat, sleep, and shit you. You eat, sleep, and shit you. You are around you majority of the time, right? You know you to a T. And I'm not saying that you don't take like bias and perspective for people. But what I'm saying is if you are actively going outside of yourself for the things that are already in you, you'll never truly be able to get those opportunities that will allow you to truly live at your highest level, right? At your highest order. And I'm not just speaking from a vibrational standpoint, because we know that, on a dimension scale, you go up and down. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might be feeling irritated one morning when you wake up, and now you meditate. Now your nervous system regulated. Now you vibrating high. But you overregulated, you overstimulated, you're irritated. Now you vibrating a little lower, right? Because you're not the happiest. You're not the most in sync. You're not the most cognitive, right, individual that you can be, just truly because you're not at your highest. You're not at your best. And why is that? Because you're just truly not the version of you that you perceive, right? So to end off this video, bro, to, connect the dots and make it all make sense, brother, sister, whatever is going on in your life right now, whatever life is showing you, whatever life is representing to you, whatever life is teaching you, allow it to continue to keep going. Like, allow life to continue to keep being your best teacher. Allow life to continue to keep grooming you, right? Allow life to keep unfolding you. Allow life to continue to keep innovating you, elevating you, ascending you, right? And just last but not least, bro, don't forget to just laugh, right? Don't forget to just cry. Don't forget to just appreciate, have humility, have, gratitude, and just live this shit every day. Like, there's no need to be perfect. You're getting better, bro. If you're literally getting 1% you're doing one thing. If you just do one thing every single day that's getting you to that version of yourself that only you can see, you're good, bro. That doesn't take 16 hours of your day. That could take 30 minutes to an hour of your day, bro. That could take 2 hours to 3 hours of your day, bro. And everything you do is just tally points. But if you're getting 1% better every day, you're doing one thing that's moving the needle, right? Now, if you're doing 5 things that's moving the needle backwards, yeah, that could be counterproductive. But if you go to the gym every single day, you're moving the needle. If you're reading every single day, you're moving the needle, right? If you're working on your business every single day, and don't just think just because your business ain't making money right now that it's not your business. This is my business, right? Your content is your business, right? Your business is your business. No matter if it's making 10K, 0K, 100K a fucking month. It's still your business, brother. Don't get misconstrued, and don't allow, like I said, external things to make you feel like that, once again, your reality that you perceive is not correct, because it in fact is. Your timeline has to catch up to your way of thinking. You have to catch up, right? People have to catch up. You don't have to move and stop being who you are. Allow people to catch up to what the fuck you doing. Allow them to learn and unravel themselves to be able to get that awe moment. But you stopping who you are, you discontinuing your faith and your authenticity to appease people, fuck all that shit. We're not on that. But like I said, I love y'all. Keep going. Keep being great. Keep being prosperous. Keep being elevated. Continue to keep working on yourself every day, focusing on yourself every day, letting God lead you, truly knowing who God is, and, in any form or facet, and how that may resonate with you. Truly love this life experience. Like I said, bro, I know we always going up and down on a dimension scale. We always are like in different places in our life, which is why these videos are so important, because it's not necessarily about always getting that jolt, right? I think happiness can get misconstrued because, you know, it's a come and go feeling, but truly it's like, if you can be happy, sad, you know how to be sad and happy, right? If you can be joyful and at peace, right? But maybe at war with the world, that's the equilibrium, right? If you can be alone but never lonely, right? You're starting to appreciate the human existence, right? So once again, it's like, don't think that you have to be one dimensional and one sided as well. Don't think that life does not require duality, because it does, right? You're on this 3D plane for a reason. That doesn't mean that you got to be a fucking bot, but that does mean that you need to experience this 3D experience and everything that comes with it, right? Have discernment with your decisions and the things that you do, but also don't get discouraged as often, bro. Don't take things that fucking serious, bro. Have fun with it and work through the things that you're doing to learn the art of having fun. Learn the art of experience. Learn the art of, you know what I'm saying, just being and existing and not feeling like your titles and your identifications are what ascends you throughout this world, because that's cap. That's just an ego rub. And it's just really like you getting a pat on the back, bro. If you wake up every day and you're at peace with yourself, no matter what the fuck you doing, that's enough, bro. If you waking up every day, right, and you know how to regulate your nervous system, and and you are contributing just off the strength of just you being you, that's inspiring somebody, bro. You working on yourself is inspiring somebody, bro. Like, you living your life and being authentic to who you are, that's inspiring somebody, bro. You're not faking. When everybody around you and on social media is faking, that's inspiring somebody, bro. Because once again, who do we have to look up to? Who do we have to get the inspiration from? Who do we have to take these think pieces from? Right? So that's all I have for y'all. I love y'all, man. Continue to keep staying on y'all journey. Continue to keep going forward. And continue to keep being the highest version of yourself. Hey, man. I'm ready to go take a shower and lay it down. I love y'all. I'm out. Go.